Hello, friends, and welcome back to another edition of In the Making with the Soap Witch. So, in this one, I'm still veering off from my normal soaps to show off some fall soaps. So far, you've seen me add aloe vera juice, and then I added my sodium lactate, which is basically liquid salt, and then sugar. And now I'm just stirring that in so it dissolves nicely before I add my lye to my mixture. You always want to add lye to your liquid, never the other way around. And so as you notice, I am still doing aloe vera, even though these are seasonal. Every single soap that I make that's not beer soap will be aloe vera soap. And if it's not aloe vera, it will be beer soap. So anyway, I added the lye, stirred it up. Got the temperatures better than I did the last time. They are in the threshold that I prefer, which is between 200 and 180. So that's when I mixed everything together and then went into stick blending everything in the pot that is too big for this batch. I either do too big or too small. I don't know what it's like to live somewhere in the middle. So here I'm just stick blending to trace. That was me just testing to make sure it was at trace, like a kind of pudding consistency sort of. So with this one, since I did add everything at the right temperatures and didn't goof up, I did get a really nice volcano, which I did sit there and wait to rise a nice little time, just so you guys can see how impressive it was. And then I went in with my whisk to just give it a nice stir and get it all stirred down and back into the pot. Not that it ever was in danger of leaving the pot, because it's a very small batch. So this is about a third of the size of my normal batches. So here I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil, which is Apple Cider Donut. It is delectable. And here I'm doing my colorants. So here, this one is called Sexy Stranger on a Train. It's by Mad Micas. It's a brownish color, and this is activated charcoal because that's just the color I prefer to use, or the black that I prefer to use in my soaps. I don't know why. I started out that way, and now I refuse to use any other black. So I'm just stirring them in to the pre-measured oil that I had set aside from the recipe for this purpose. And so that sat there undisturbed long enough, and I felt like it was time to give it a stir, most likely stir to completion, because I get real impatient. I sit there and watch that soap just doing its thing, and I don't like it. Okay, it's not really the case, but whatever. So this is looking a little bit applesaucey. I feel like in this huge pot, things just they go a little differently than what I'm used to. The water evaporation kind of happens faster, I feel like, and so leaving the top off of the pot for that extended period of time just kind of leaves me with a soap that's not as fluid as I like. So I did put a little extra liquid in here to get it more fluidy. I know that's not a word, but that's what I'm going with. So here I'm measuring out my full fat Greek yogurt. You do not have to use full fat or Greek, but you do want it plain, for goodness sake. So here I'm just adding that in, and the purpose of the yogurt is to help with the fluidity, and actually so was the sugar and the sodium lactate. But also those have a purpose of making a harder, longer lasting, more bubbly bar. And what was I just saying? Don't blank in the middle of a voiceover. What is wrong with you? The yogurt, like I said, is to help with the fluidity, but it's also just nice. Like, that's good stuff, so why not? So anyway, got that stirred in nicely. Gonna let that sit for a second and marinate for whatever reason. I don't know. Sometimes I just be doing stuff, y'all. I done told y'all. So here is the fragrance going right in, stirring that, mixing that in very well. If I don't mix it in well, I find that when I go to separate my soap for the coloring phase, that I have somehow loose fragrance oil in the bottom of the pot, which is real aggravating. So here I got my first cup ready to measure out my soap for the coloring phase, and as you can see, I should have picked a bigger cup, but whatever, it's too late and I didn't want to dirty up another dish. So here we go. I'm only using two colors for this one. That one is the Sexy Stranger, that beautiful brown color. I'm sitting over here lamenting the fact that I did not pour it in a bigger container, but oh well, we're gonna make it work. We did. We always do, y'all. You know me. Okay. Anywho, so now I've got that nicely incorporated. I go ahead and add my charcoal. activated charcoal to the other cup. I really feel like I should have gone with a third color just to kind of brighten it up, because these are both like really dark-ish type colors, and I don't know, it makes obviously a less vibrant soap, and y'all know how I like vibrant. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and get to pouring. So you know, they're kind of contrasting, not really. So I just poured one layer and then another of each one until my little cups were empty, and then I gave it a nice little bang on the counter to ideally make sure that there weren't like any holes in the soap. Okay, so I'm going in with my actual hanger to do my hanger swirl. Most normal soapers have a tool, but I don't have one. So I did some figure eights, and then after I got through figure eighting, I just did some circles around the whole thing, and for some reason I decided to go back in the other direction this time. Did I do that last time? I don't know. Anyway, adding that fairy dust, you know how I like it, my pixie dust, and then gonna swirl that top just because. I don't know how much of a difference it made with the colors being so dark, but you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we're moving along. That's it. And then I let it sit in the freezer for like 4 hours, I think. I don't think I did the customary 5 or 6 hours. I waited till this one thawed to demold it, but I don't think I like doing it that way, and I think I'm going to stick with demolding while it's freezing cold and then cutting when it thaws. So speaking of, it's time for the cut. Usually I show off more bars than this, but I don't know, I guess I was in a trash mood, so I didn't do it. But anyway, I do hope that you like what you did see here. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and giving this video a like. So that's all I've got for this time. I will see you in the next video, friends.